Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru specialist from Subaru Prince George here, and today we're going to look at the 2024 Subaru Forester Wilderness in the Geyser Blue, that iconic blue that you see in all of the commercials. This color is exclusive to the Wilderness, which is the most off-road oriented trim level of Forester they make. As you can see, it's winter here. They get covered with snow, as a Subaru should. Up front, aesthetically, only the Wilderness gets the 6 LED forward-facing fog lights. You also get an exclusive front bumper. There's a lot more cladding on the front of the Wilderness, and that is because that is a high wear area if you're taking it off the beaten path. The plastic is a lot more durable than the paint, so you're less likely to mark it up. The Wilderness does also get a front view off-road / parking camera. I'll show you that inside. And we get the matte black hood decal sticker, whatever you want to call it. This is matte and is designed to reduce sun glare for the driver. I didn't think it would actually work. It does make a difference. The Wilderness does have increased ground clearance in addition to a front skid plate. Protect the radiator, front of the engine there. Increased ground clearance, as I mentioned, over the standard Foresters. Also get more aggressive cladding around the wheel wells, and that continues along the bottom of the Forester. All of the Wilderness Foresters get the 17-inch matte black painted 5-spoke wheels, and they all get Yokohama Geolandar all-terrain tires. They are 3-peak snowflake rated, so they are legal year-round. Not as good in a winter situation as a dedicated winter, but they are legal. We have black plastic mirror caps, so it's textured like the cladding is down here. And again, more durable. These stick out. You're going to probably catch them on some branches or some trees with integrated turn signals. Wilderness badge, give you that side profile look. The Forester is the traditional SUV boxy styling that you would expect out of a true SUV, but it rides better than a traditional SUV. We have these anodized copper highlights on the roof rails with the integrated tie downs in them. Obviously packed with snow right now. The idea is you get your crossbars, use these as tie-down points with ropes or bungees, whatever you're using. And these crossbars are thicker than your standard Forester roof rail, so you can't use the standard Aero crossbars. You have to go with the Thule extended crossbars or a different aftermarket bar. Panoramic sunroof or snow roof in this situation. That anodized copper Forester. Cladding goes up the door and onto the body. Now the fuel door is on the rear passenger side. Now if the driver door is unlocked, it pops open. If it's locked, driver door is locked, pin shoots out there, locks in the hole there. You're running regular 87. You don't have to run anything fancy in this. No turbo. It's a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. Rear, very, very boxy as you would expect with that SUV styling. Cladding along the bottom with your integrated backup sensors, and they will actually apply the brakes if it thinks you're going to hit something in reverse between speeds of 1 and 15 kilometers an hour. Blacked out badging on the Wilderness on either side, and we have the cladding between the taillights, and it extends up here. So it's kind of like the Sport in the fact you've got the black strip between the taillights, and it doesn't stand out a whole bunch on the blue as it would on the white or any of the other lighter colors, but it still definitely separates it. Now, they have included a bumper step pad from factory, so that is designed to protect the painted area of the bumper from getting marked up if you're loading things in and out or you have pets jumping in and out. Power lift gate you can activate from the key fob, the driver's seat, or the door. And as you'd expect, big boxy square rear end, lots of storage, very tall, wide, and deep. We have a privacy cover here. Now, as you can see, this is easy to remove and to install it. Now, it's a little trickier one-handed. Essentially, fit it in there, and you just have to push because it's a telescopic piece, and it fits in. Little piece hides everything there. And the reason that this bar isn't back here is because these seats can recline. So if you recline them, but you have a solid bar, you can't recline. So that is why that's adjustable. But this hides everything from the top of the seats down. Keeps things out of sight, out of mind. Now, if you want, you can actually take that, tuck it underneath the cargo tray, which is also standard equipment, but it'll go underneath the false floor. There's a place to run it across, a little bit of storage. We also have a full-size matching spare tire on a matching alloy wheel in this Forester. You can do 5 tire rotations. all your tools, get better life out of your tires. We have grocery bag hooks on either side, along with a 12-volt power point. And we have the ability to fold down the seats at the click of a button, essentially flat. There's a little bit of angle, and of course that folds down. It's just spring-loaded right there. Now, we do also have hooks up here. I always forget to point them out to people, but they will hold 6 pounds or 3 kilograms, according to that. I wouldn't drive with anything hanging from here because it would be right in my rear window, but it is great if you're pulled over, you're camping, you need to hang something. Up here, we have another hook out of the hatch, LED cargo light. Now to close it, I can do it from the driver's seat, the door, I can pull down, I can close it here, I can close and lock it. Multitude of ways to close it. Up top, black shark fin antenna. Second row. With these seats folded flat, you can see it's not plastic. Well, it's kind of a plasticky material. It's not the same plastic as a cargo tray, but it's not cloth. Much more durable. Pet hair is not going to worm its way in there if your furry friends are in the very back, which is very nice. Seating material is not leather, but it's not cloth. This is StarTech. So this is a soft touch all-weather upholstery. It's 20% recycled plastic. The rest is all synthetic. It's a Subaru made product, and it is designed to get dirty, and then you just wipe it down. But there's a ton of headroom and a ton of legroom in the second row of the Forester. That tall roof line, like that's me at eye level right there. There's a lot of room. Taller people fit in here without issue. I was talking about being able to recline them. You simply pull on this, and it is kind of hard to do one-handed. Like here, I apologize about the camera shaking. And you push on the back of the seat, and you can see it's reclined, and you can see that bar has moved a little bit. Now to recline it up, simply pull, and there you go. You can also fold them down here. Anodized copper stitching, contrast color. Out of the center console, we have vents in addition to 2 USB ports for charging. We've got map back pockets, 3 on each seat back. Fold down armrest with integrated cup holders. I really like this material. I think this is the most comfortable material in Subaru's lineup. It's just very, very soft. The material itself is thicker. We have high wall rubber floor mats. They come as standard equipment on the Wilderness. This is designed to be textured and used as a step for loading things on the roof if you're vertically challenged. Way better to stand on that than on the tire. And the reason being is the tire sits inside the fender. And if I'm standing on the tire and I go up, I'm right at the back of the rack system. I'm most likely leaning over this way. Could put myself in a precarious situation. Rear door card, soft touch. Wilderness badge, soft touch armrest, contrast stitching, a little bit of storage with a bottle holder. We do have child lock if you need it. And then this little silver bar, I get asked about that actually quite often. That is an extra side impact crash safety bar Subaru's installed, and it locks right in there. It's designed to stop intrusion into the passenger cab in the event of an accident. It is a proximity key, so all I have to do is have the key within 46 inches of me. I put my hand in the handle, it unlocks. To lock it, I touch these lines, but the vehicle's running, so it's not going to do anything except scream at me, so I won't do that. Up front, door card looks very, very much the same as the rear. Soft touch, all 4 power windows, window lock, power mirror control, got a little bit of storage along with a bottle holder. The inside, the seat material up front is the exact same as the second row. We just have Wilderness embossed on the headrest. Bolsters are a little bit more aggressive, but it is the same material. But very, very comfortable. Power seat, including lumbar, that's what this is. Tilt. Seat is height adjustable as well, depending how you like to sit. Wilderness floor mats, you get the Wilderness badge on the front ones. We have the ability to open the rear hatch. We can turn off the steering responsive headlights, so those are the headlights that swivel left or right. Set a height for the memory tailgate, so if you park in a low parking garage, you don't have to have it open all the way. We have the ability to turn off traction control, turn off the auto start stop, and we can turn off blind spot detection and rear cross traffic alert if we want. A little bit of texture on the dash, more contrast stitching. On the inside, steering wheel is both tilt and telescopic, so you can adjust it to drivers of varying heights, leg, and arm lengths. Anodized copper piece here. They didn't go overboard with the anodized copper, in my opinion. I think it's a nice highlight on the interior. I know that's a taste thing. Your mileage is going to vary. Arrows here will change our small little center display. So we have digital speedometer, time running versus distance traveled, how long the vehicle shut off at intersections with the start stop. Most people like the digital speedometer the most. I have to agree with them. That's my favorite. In addition to having the analog, it is nice. Left-hand side, Bluetooth and audio controls. You can make and take calls, control the volume of the calls and the music. Switch between AM, FM, USB, satellite. Info will change our small display up there, which I'll show you in a second. Switch between presets, volume toggle, up, down. Pretty self-explanatory, except hang up and issue voice commands. Right-hand side, we've got our adaptive cruise. We have our lane centering. Both of these systems use these two black boxes, those color stereo eyesight cameras, to look for vehicles, pedestrians, cyclists, and road lines. Does automatic emergency braking, and of course, lane centering, adaptive cruise. Now, I have the adaptive cruise turned on. You've got an image of the Forester there, 4 bars ahead of it all the way down to 1. The bars are the follow distance behind the vehicle ahead of you that you will follow at if you catch up while using cruise. 4 bars at 100 kilometers an hour is roughly 150 to 180 feet behind the vehicle ahead of you. Generally a safe amount. Just turned on lane centering. That's the steering wheel right there. When I did that, you'll notice those lines illuminated gray, off, on. If the cameras can see the road lines, whichever side it can see, whether that's one or both, it'll illuminate those gray lines white on the corresponding side. And what that does is if you start getting close to the road lines, it starts giving you gentle steering input to keep you in the middle of your lane. It is a phenomenal system. I didn't think I would like it. Give it a chance. It's great for a long distance drive. I don't recommend it day to day, but it does make driving less fatiguing in the long run. Got exclusive wilderness badges. I've got the lane sway turned off because right now you can't see the road lines. So it sometimes beeps at you if you do. If you have that turned on, it misinterprets a strip of snow missing on the road as a road line. It can beep. That's why that's turned off. There's a little bit of texture in those gauges as well. That is exclusive to the Wilderness. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera. Heated steering wheel, best thing ever. It does not heat between the seam up here, just where you're supposed to keep your hands, but it gets absolutely cooking. We do also have paddles, downshift and upshift to manually select your own gears in the automatic CVT. Information screen up top here, the info screen. I can cycle every time I press the info button. It gives me a different piece of info, what I'm listening to, fuel economy, date and time. You can change settings, what safety tech is on. So all the safety tech with the exception of the lane sway assist. Even auto high beams are on right now. X mode screen and gauges. It's also where our climate control displays, and it ranges from 30 on the high side all the way down to 15, freezing to tropical, depending how you and your passengers like it. Easy to sync it back to just driver controlled. You can see your fan strength. You can see where the airflow is being directed. You always have your outside thermometer on the top right, and you have a clock on the top left. We have an 8-inch infotainment screen. It is all touchscreen, but we have physical buttons down here. No integrated nav in the Wilderness, but in apps you have wired Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You do gain access to the My Subaru app after the vehicle is registered in your name. Physical home button or digital one. Radio, media, it's all very self-explanatory. When I put it in reverse, backup camera pops up, rear assist braking, parking sensors, top of the bumper. I can watch the backup camera from inside the vehicle. It is the best thing ever. I thought it was gimmicky, but it is great. I used it just this morning backing into a parking spot after a test drive. It was great. I was a big fan of that. Now, front camera that I was showing you guys earlier shows on our front display up there. It's almost 180 degrees. So that's pretty good. Good visibility. Those red lines, those dots, that's about as close to things as you want to get with before you get too close for comfort. Climate controls are adjusted from down here. We've got driver side temp, passenger side temp, fan strength, heated mirrors, back window, and windshield wiper de-icer. So your windshield where your wiper sit is heated. It is fantastic. You go through way less wiper blades in the winter. Mode changes where the airflow is being directed. AC moves moisture. Max AC is the cold stuff. 4-ways, which I hope none of you ever need to use. Down below, storage cubby. There's a 12-volt outlet, 2 USBs, and an aux in there. There's also a little mood light. It's really just an illumination light. It's so you can find things more easily. Automatic CVT with manual mode. I do like the synthetic boot with the copper stitching. I like the copper shifter. It feels nice in the hand, but we've got drive and then manual mode, and that is where we would use the paddles, upshift and downshift. We have our heated seats, high and low for both the driver and passenger, the view button for the front camera. That's how you access it. It does shut off after you hit about 8 kilometers an hour, maybe 10 kilometers an hour, because looking at the camera while driving that fast is a little disorienting. Turn that back on. Electronic parking brake. Auto vehicle hold is a brake holder for construction drive through rush hour traffic. So X mode is like 4x4 low in a pickup. We have snow and dirt mode if I twist it to the left. And then if I twist it to the right, deep snow and mud also turns off traction control to allow for excess wheel spin. So only works up to 40 kilometers an hour. After that, it kicks out and goes back to regular all-wheel drive. We've got our cup holders. We've got a little bit of storage. Soft touch armrest. Storage with the 12 volts in there. There's a place to run cords through so you don't crush your cords when your armrest is down and you're resting your arm on it. Auto dimming rear view mirror. No switch to flick. If someone's got their brights on behind you, it just dims. It's fantastic. It's my favorite feature in any vehicle ever. No switch. It's great. Your side mirrors in the Forester Wilderness are also auto dimming, so they're tied to that. If this dims, those dim. It's wonderful. We do also get 3 buttons there. That's your home link system. You can hook up to 3 separate garage doors to your mirror, so you don't have to carry a bulky opener on your visor. Built-in compass. We can turn on or off the lane sway. We have automatic emergency braking. So here in BC, that actually saves us 10% on our basic insurance. These cameras are looking for vehicles, pedestrians, and cyclists, and us closing the gap between them too quickly, and it'll apply the brakes if you think we're going to hit them. It's great. Sunroof controls, LED map lights, SOS and roadside. That's part of the 3-year trial to the My Subaru connected services you get with most new Subarus. Little light here means my headlights are on. Got ourselves some sunglass storage, and the headliner is dark or black, charcoal, whatever you want to call it, in all of the Wildernesses. We have grab handles in all 4 corners. We've got card holders on the sun visors, vanity mirror with light, and an extender in the event the sun's directly at your left or right. It does give you a couple warnings that you can read should you want. And then let's take a look under the hood with it running. The hood release down here at the bottom. There you go. So it's the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder boxer engine, produces 182 horsepower, and in a vehicle that size, of this size, is more than adequate, especially with the revised 411 final drive gear ratio. So here it is, engine cover on it, and pretty much anything in yellow is what the average consumer is going to touch. So we've got coolant, we have oil right next to the filter, we've got washer fluid, we've got brake fluid, we've got our dipstick, easy access to the air filter. It's really simple. It's the 2.5. Subaru's updated it, but that's been the engine for years. And I just like to drop them. I don't like to put them down and push on them. It makes it, to me, it feels like I'm going to break them. So I'll give you guys another quick walk around of the Forester Wilderness. This is a 2024 Forester Wilderness in the Geyser Blue, one of our most popular Forester trim levels. The only one I have in stock at the moment that isn't pre-sold. So if you're outdoorsy oriented, this is definitely the trim level for you if you're looking at a Forester. They do also make the Wilderness Outback and Crosstrek if you desire a slightly different vehicle, don't need the room, or want a little bit more power. So thank you for watching my quick walkthrough of the 2024 Forester Wilderness in the Geyser Blue. I'm Tyson, the Subaru specialist from Subaru of Prince George. If you guys have any questions about this vehicle, any of the tech in it, any of the vehicles or tech in our lineup, please put it in the comments below. Or if there's something you'd like to see in a future video, let me know in the comments below. I'm always looking for new ideas to make for you guys. Again, thanks for watching. We'll talk soon.